Rolls Royce doesn't have to advertise. You ever seen a Rolls Royce advertisement before?
No.
It's a reason why. It's a reason why. That's why you don't see a lot of top caliber men and a lot of top caliber women walking around in their late 30s, early 40s, and 50s still single. You're not gonna see it. That's why you see a lot of these older women. They walk around. Oh, it's not any good men out here. Well, older women. A lot of dudes say they hit the wall. I don't like to use that. I don't like to use that analogy or whatever. Women hitting the wall, but a lot of these women have hit the wall, and they're in their 40s and 50s, and they're seeing themselves as competition for younger women, and they're expecting to all these high value men, all these quality men to gravitate to them, and that's not the case. Most of those men that those women are talking about, what they're calling good men are looking for, those dudes are married and been married for years for real. And if they lucky, they might catch one on the rebound coming out of a divorce or something. But then a lot of guys at that age coming out of divorce, they're so set in their ways, they don't even have the inclination of wanting to go back into another long-term relationship.
No, that's facts. So, Dapper Storm, let me ask you a question, OG.
Mm-hmm. Go right ahead.
For for younger men, for men my age, that's whether they
Mm-hmm.
in their early 20s, mid 20s, that's in this dating market, that's in this dating climate right now,
I
that
feel sorry for y'all. I feel sorry for
hey,
y'all. Go ahead with the question, baby.
hey, for those of us that we aspire to be this provider man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, 50-50 is only like something that is a discussion for us on the internet. That's not something that we've ever thought about. That's not something that we've ever seen growing up. We really want to take
Exactly.
care of our woman. We really want to take care of our family. We want to be like, the breadwinner in our household. um but like, with these modern women, um listen, like I said, OG, me personally, I think, good luck to the men out here that are trying to find these quote unquote traditional women. I just don't think that's like a thing anymore. I don't think girls are being raised to be traditional women. And like I said, girls are more so being raised like these women really want to have careers, whether they working for a corporation or whether they working for themselves. Like they want to get money too. So me personally, I'm not looking for nobody to, and I never have. Honestly, I'm not looking for nobody to stay at home. When I do have kids one day, I hope that I have a woman that's going like, want to be with, the kids during those early years. But my question is, I mean, just like finding a woman that's like is not scorned like you said. A woman that, if you were to leave her in the house all day in a 4 bedroom house, pool in the backyard, that when you come home from work, you will have a meal made for you. Um Somebody that is gonna be loving, caring, and compassionate to you. What advice would you give to a man as far as like going about trying to find a woman like that nowadays?
It's all about discernment, and it's all about being able to interact with a woman and to discern what type of woman she is. And just it goes back to the point I was making when I was saying that the average woman, especially young women, can't differentiate a low value man from a high value man by his appearance. It's the same thing with men. Men can't differentiate high value women from average women a lot of times, because see what the problem with most men is, and it goes back to what one of the young women said earlier. Men are very visual, and see, when you deal with visual, then you start delving into carnality. When you deal with carnality, you're talking about a lower vibration and operating in your lower self. So then you're not thinking with a ruling class mentality. You're not being magnanimous. You're not being pragmatic. You start lowering your standards to all a woman can do for you is to be a sexual exploit. You know what I'm saying? And I seen in an interview one time that Mike Tyson did. Mike Tyson said, men are brought up, especially young black men in our community, we're brought up to see women a lot of time as sexual conquest. So we want to see who can get the highest body count the fastest in our younger days. We want to sow our wild oats. That's what we out there doing. We're omni predators. We want to take them down. We want to knock them down. Whatever colloquialism you want to use, we want to be predators and we want to be out here. But it's to our detriment for real because the most valuable thing we have as black men on this planet is our seed. We need to protect our seed before we do anything. And impregnating these low level random women is the worst thing we could be possibly doing out here. Because just like Mike Tyson said, I'd have had sex with all these women. And sometimes the encounters lasted 4 minutes, sometimes they last 5 minutes. If it's a good night, you might give her 45 minutes. But Mike Tyson said he has paid women hundreds of thousands, not into the millions of dollars for these encounters. So who actually was the beneficiary of that encounter?
The
You
woman.
exactly. You got to ask yourself in this society right now, who is the who finds themselves in the most advantageous situation from these interactions between men and women. Outside of being married to a woman, if you have a child by a woman right now, who actually becomes comes out in the more advantageous situation?
If but if you said if a man
If
and a woman
if you lay down with a one, you're a young man, you out here, you sowing your wild oats. If you lay down with a woman and you get her pregnant, who who has the upper hand in that relationship from that point in this society?
well, she does.
Of course. Of course. And a lot of men don't understand that. A lot of men don't understand that and they can't recognize that because a lot of them have never been taught anything. A lot of young black dudes ain't never really been taught anything. They haven't had anybody to act as a steward over them and drop real knowledge on them for real. Especially when it comes to women, because it's a lot of older dudes who don't really know shit about women or how they should be governing themselves and interacting with women. All they concerned with is women being sexual exploits. That's all. But right now, like, to go back to the point, if you have a baby by a woman right now, say you impregnate her, it's only two of y'all laid down to have that baby. It's one of y'all that only gets to decide whether the baby's even born or not.
Right.
The woman gets to decide whether the baby's even born or not. She has the first right of refusal. You have no say so because they say it's a woman's body, it's her choice, and I agree with that. But how can a woman make a choice for you and her both when both of y'all chose to lay down and procreate to make a child? How is only one person able to shoulder the burden of that responsibility to make the decision for both of you?
And
And
this is
then if she brings the child into the world, okay, she brings the child into the world. If she decides she doesn't want to be with you, in most states, it's automatically assumed by the court that they would rather the child stay with the woman than you 90% of the time to 95% of the time. It's an automatic rule of thumb that the court system in the state would rather the child reside with the mother and remain with the mother over the father unless it's extenuating circumstances that disqualifies the mother from that. That's another disadvantage to it. So then once they decide that they want the child to reside with the mother, then it's only one thing that comes after that. It's the child support. And they expect you to monetarily provide for this child and this woman. And we know in a lot of cases, when it comes to you providing for the child and the woman, then that extends to basically you taking care of the woman. So,
I want to hear what your thoughts on this are because you just mentioned the whole uh you know her body, her choice.
mhm.
Um so what I often say and I've said here on my platform is there's a lot of times where um first of all, a lot of these women, a lot of these single mothers, they're not conceiving children with and having babies by men that they were in relationships with, men that they were dating. A lot of these situations were like jump off situations, like it was just a vibe, and we was having a good time, and we just so happened to, do that, engage in that activity, and we ended up conceiving a child. But they don't be knowing this man from a can of paint. They don't be knowing his last name. They don't be knowing what he does for a living, if he even has a job.